I wanted to thank all of you, first of all, for joining us. It's very exciting to be talking to you today and to be part of a global program right now with everything going on in our world. What a better time to unite than now. Super exciting for us. So first of all, wanted to introduce you to our team. Monica Highfill and Amy Keller are our executive directors. I will turn it over to them real quick to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Monica Highfill. I've been working with Jackie and Amy since the beginning, 2017, and I'm actually, my day job is VP of Sales for the Americas for Kemet.
Hi, I'm Amy Keller, and I've been working alongside of Jackie and Monica with Women Electronics for a few years now, and super excited to be taking this globally and meeting all of you hopefully in person someday. I've had a long career at Arrow Electronics, which was an amazing experience. And I recently moved to a new company, which has been refreshing, about 3 months ago, just over 3 months ago now, called Abercon, which is a component supplier in our industry.
Okay, so this session is for getting to know we. So it's set up more as a casual session. We just want you to be able to ask a lot of questions because I'm sure you're wondering, what are you doing and why is this important for us? How is this going to impact the industry? Happy to know there's some men on call as well because we want to unite with our male counterparts. We cannot do this without you. So thank you for being on call. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to maybe speak for about 15 minutes for our presentation, maybe 20. And just to give you a base of why are we here, why are we doing this, what motivated Monica, Amy, and I to start this organization, and how does this impact the bottom line profit? So that's really ultimately, this is not just a feel-good, women's movement. It is a movement, but it's for everyone to unite, and it's to impact the bottom line as well. So with that, I will turn it over to Monica Highfill, who will go through some of the facts.
Yeah, we thought it was really important when we started this journey to understand, where we are, where is it that we want to go, and then to put together the facts, right? I think that the facts are important, and to understand how inclusion can affect the bottom line. So here are some facts, and there's the sources that we've gotten these facts on all these slides, so you can refer back to them if you'd like. But certainly a higher company's gender composition, the better performs in average relative returns. Also companies whose top management is at least 50% female, they see returns on equity that are 19% higher than average, which is huge, right? And then boards with higher than average percentage of women outperform those boards with fewer than average by 36%. Okay, Jackie, next slide. And then we also looked at teams, inclusive teams, and we thought this study was pretty interesting. So they did a study over, I think it was over a year, and it looked at teams and what kind of decisions they made. And teams on average versus a single person make better decision making 66% of the time. But if you add in gender, that increases to 73%. Then you add in a variety of age groups, and that goes up to 80%. And then if you put age, gender, and geographic locations in, the decision-making is 87%. So it increases along. And then with inclusive teams, there's faster decision-making, better results, 30% better results. And then this Bain and Company research showed that decision-making was 95%, the effectiveness was 95% correlated with financial profits.
And I just wanted to chime in here before we move forward to the next slide. This is a pretty critical slide, and it's part of a big reason why we're doing what we're doing, is because we want to educate and empower women to be women and to capitalize on their strengths for what they bring to the party. And our male counterparts to capitalize on your strengths as well. So we don't want to be all the same. We want to bring our uniqueness and what makes us strong in each of our areas together. And that is what makes that decision making so critical and important, and that inclusiveness, the diversity coming together, inclusiveness of differences of opinions is what truly makes the better decision making.
Agreed. And then my favorite area, mentorship and the data behind it. There's lots of data out there that shows that mentorship programs and having a mentor is favorable for not only the mentor's career, but for the mentee's career. And it's shown here in this study by the University of Pennsylvania, where mentees were promoted 5 times more frequently. And look, mentors 6 times more often than those who were not in a mentor program. And we'll be talking about our mentorship program a little later in the slides. And then in a recent survey of Fortune 500 CEOs, certainly mentorship or having a mentor was one of their, they said, #1 component of their success. And then another study showed the Center for Creative Leadership, 77% of companies reported that mentoring programs reduced employee turnover. And for those of us that are in leadership or managing people, that is certainly important. If we can find a way to reduce any kind of churn of employees, to be able to retain our employees longer, is certainly important. Oh, and this is an older study. Sun Microsystems not around anymore, right? Bought up, but they did a long-term study that showed in mentorship that it saved them almost $7 million between the years 96 and 2009 due to increased retention rates due to mentoring. And then this slide just shows ECIA and ERA, which are 2 organizations that are in the Americas that we deal with and are partnered with, but it shows female attendance percentages at their major conferences. And as you can see for ERA, and we appreciate that they provided this information to us, but you can see it went from 9% in 2013 to 17% in 2020. So it did go up, which is good, but still not to the levels where we see females in the workplace, which is at a little over 50% in the Americas. That's the data I have. And then ECIA conference from 13% to 19%.
Okay, well, Monica, thank you so much for giving that overview. We
Sure.
feel that data is super important, right? Ladies, we're not an emotional-based organization. We're a very factual-based organization. So we take time to research, we get our facts together, and that's what we go on. So basically, what does our program look like? Why would somebody participate in Women in Electronics? Not just a woman, but a man, to show support of the organization. So why is it that we all need to come together for this sort of an effort? And what's the value we're bringing? So really, bottom line, we want to expand the talent in the electronic component industry and help with that retention, as Monica has discussed. It impacts the bottom line so much when we don't have that retention. What we're also noticing is industry recruitment is a huge issue as well. So we are starting to work on that in a pilot program, but that's for a later discussion. So really, I'll turn it over to Amy Keller, who's been very involved with us with our leadership development program, a lot of strategy behind this. We feel like we've developed a really amazing program that offers leadership development to people that maybe aren't in those upper level management positions, and it's grooming them for those next steps. So Amy, I'll turn it over to you.
Great. Thanks, Jackie. So, like Jackie said, the leadership development piece is an area that we've spent quite a bit of time on, and our members seem to gravitate to on a regular basis. We have a wide variety of topics that we find consultants and trainers on various topics that are relevant to our career journeys. And since everybody has a unique career journey and things that are important to them at any given time, we find to have a diverse topics and that can appeal to many people over the series is helpful. So it's there are oftentimes topics that that make us more effective in and bring our best selves to work every day. So, for example, some of the topics might be addressing conflict in the workplace, and how can you ensure that your voice is being heard, or negotiating. How can you ensure that you are bringing the best version of yourself and being effective in that manner? We also talk about anything from personal branding on like LinkedIn and how to ensure that you're conveying the right message in a professional manner. So there's a various topics that can catch your interest at any given time. But definitely we find a high percentage of our members take advantage of the monthly online webinars.
Yes, and those have been highly effective, by the way. And I'll just throw this out there. Most of what we see as a leadership issue, in particular to women, is confidence. And usually it's because a woman might be the only woman in a boardroom with all men. And her opinion is usually different. This causes a little bit of fear for women, where this impacts the bottom line is that a lot of times a woman will hold back because everybody else is thinking something and she's thinking something totally different. So she thinks, maybe I'm off on this one, but usually it's that idea that needed to be heard and make an impact. So we're trying to educate and empower women to actually speak up and overcome those fears, because we're finding that men do want to hear it. They don't understand all the time that there is that fear, there's that intimidation. So we work through all these types of issues as well. And then you'll see our Life Balance series here. This is just really, we're finding women really like this series. It's just an overall wellness type of series. So is successful as you can be in your personal life, you bring that to your professional life. So in our organization, we do not separate professional and personal, because the more personally developed you are, the more you know yourself, you catch yourself with your unconscious biases and everything you've got going on, you bring that to the professional world and it impacts the organizations you work with. So we're very confident that bringing those both together puts us in a better place moving forward. So beyond that, not to spend too much time, but this is such a flagship part of our program, is the leadership development. We've also determined that business acumen training is really necessary for women and men, in particular women, because we tend to not get mentored up in the same capacity in a lot of aspects that our male counterparts do. When men get informally mentored up, they have a lot of business acumen that they discuss and they learn. We kind of miss out on that a little bit as women because we tend to not do the informal mentorship as much. So we're going to be offering a program coming Q1 2021. And then other than that, we'll just run through some of these other things real quick. The annual conference here in the Americas, it's been a pretty impactful conference. Obviously, we cannot meet in person right now. And in Europe, as we go along and we build our membership there, would love to have a conference in Europe where we can bring our leadership trainers, we can talk about the life balance, we do the whole thing in our conferences, and they're usually very powerful. And then we do have our We Radio, and that is our podcast series. Would love if there's anybody on call who wants to be a part of Women Electronics on a global sponsorship perspective. Keep in mind, we are a nonprofit 501c3. We do operate by getting funding from people who are coming behind us. We put those sponsor companies on our Leader and Highlight program. You can visit our Women in Electronics website, and you can see some of those podcasts or download our podcasts on anywhere you get your podcasts. They're really great interviews with a lot of amazing leaders. And then we have our Wednesdays with We. I love this because it's our members who get to just speak, and they get to talk about things that are important to them. So we encourage our members to come on and have their highlights, talk about important topics that impact us all. So encourage that as well. And then we do have a number of resources available for members where we pull industry information, we pull leadership articles, we have all kinds of wellness information where we have a news feed that really, it's like your one-stop shop for really good content. So people don't have to spend a lot of time reading through information. So we have that available. We'll have a career corner that's in development. It's not all the way done. It's in the initial stages. And then really, we like to attend our industry events as much as we can. So in Europe, whatever that will be, we'll try to align to be a part of whatever industry events are going on. And then as far as chapters, you will call them division meetings, would encourage as many people to show up at the October 7th event coming up, our very first European division meeting. So we're very excited about that. And then finally, Monica, I know that you're very pressed for time today, but Monica spearheaded our mentorship program, which is phenomenal, I have to say. I'm so proud of her for this program. It's a flagship program connecting our industry. But Monica, I'll turn that over to you to discuss.
Yeah, we're actually getting ready to launch our second group. We just finished our pilot program. We had 6 mentors and 6 mentees. We wanted to start small just so we could work out any kinks, and we got some great valuable feedback from our first group. So we're hoping to do this next group, 15 mentors to 15 mentees. That's what it looks like it's going to be. And they spend 6 months together. It's a pretty structured program in that we, first of all, take a lot of time in pairing up the mentors and the mentees to make sure that we think they'll be a good fit. And we make sure that we don't put competitors, someone maybe that works at TTI to Avnet just for competitive reasons. And then we do ask that everyone signs an NDA. We want everyone to take it seriously as far as confidentiality, what's discussed in these meetings. And then we do a training. So we do a mentor training and a mentee training, so separate trainings, so they know what to expect. And we have champions. We have a mentee champion and a mentor champion. So if there's any issues or any questions along the way, they have somebody they can easily reach out to get whatever they need. And then we do survey the mentors and the mentees halfway through and then at the end to make sure the program is going along well. So we'll hope to launch, or we will launch actually, early October, and that'll go 6 months, and then we'll do another program after that. So the feedback has been actually really good. I actually participated as a mentor as well, and I thought it was a great experience, and I actually made a lifelong friend of someone that I didn't know in the industry, and got some great and valuable experience out of it as well. So looking forward to continuing on this program.
Yeah, and on that note, real quick, I just wanted to throw in there, those of you on call that could be a mentor, we're really embracing this concept of reverse mentorship, excuse me, where if we align you with somebody who's maybe younger and fresher and has the marketing and all the newer ideas of doing things, it's actually that reverse mentorship is good too. So you could be a mentor with your experience and your critical thinking, your judgment calls, and helping them make decisions, but you could be learning from your mentee as well. as far as these other perspectives. So that's how we look at it. It's kind of full circle. So would encourage anybody to participate in the mentorship program. And before we move on from that, is there any questions? We're pretty much almost done with the presentation, but we could stop right here and just see if anybody has any questions this far. No? Okay, we'll move on.
I didn't know, Jackie,
So-
maybe. Hi, Jackie, it's Ruth. How are you doing?
Hi.
Hi, Jackie. I just thought people might be interested to know if the mentorship scheme is included for the mentees as part of the membership.
Yes. So right now, the mentorship program is included in membership. Again, we are a nonprofit organization, and is offering it as long as we can. We was never an intent to offer it for included in the membership, because how it works, what I'll do is I'll just explain how our membership works first. Is what we do is the cost of our regular memberships are pretty high for what we're offering, and it would be unaffordable for the average person. So that's why we go out for sponsorships, those corporate sponsorships. It pretty much funds the program so we can offer what we're offering to people at a very reasonable price. So a membership, if you're not from a sponsorship company, is $297 for the year, or it's $26 a month. For a sponsorship company, it's $250 for the year and $22 a month, however you want to do it. The cost to run the program for each individual is, 5 times that. So we obviously, our corporate sponsorships literally help us fund so that we can offer this program at a reasonable price. So as of now, the mentorship program is included. There are extensive costs with running a program as effectively as we're doing it right now. So moving forward, I don't know, it's always going to be included. At this moment, yes, it is, to answer your question.
Okay, fabulous. Thank you.
Yes. So are there any, maybe we can have everybody, at this point, would be nice to have everyone put yourself on video, and we could see each other and just kind of have more of a conversation at this point would be really nice. So there we go. I see Ruth. It's kind of like who was saying the other day, that kids program. I see Amy, I see Monica. Okay, we got a lot more people on call. Try to, everybody put your video on if you can, and ask any questions at this point. And Ruth, you're heading up our European division, so this would be a good time to introduce you, Ruth, and to talk about why is it that you want to do this, Ruth? Like, what would make you want to get in the game with us at this point to start something like this up in Europe?
Yeah, hi Jackie. So I think I think it was probably through LinkedIn I initially saw Women in Electronics, and I've been in the industry for around about 10 years, and I think we all kind of maybe create our own informal networks, but when I saw what you guys were doing over in the US and what you had on offer, I just think we're crying out for something like that in Europe. I think the conversations we were having yesterday around was it yesterday or the day before, around inclusivity and reaching out to our male colleagues as well. And as I said, I've had so many people give positive feedback to the idea of a movement like this. I'm a director of engineering at one of the big electronics companies in Europe, got in touch yesterday to say this is just a fantastic initiative. What else can we do to support? So I want to just hope we can build on the framework of what you ladies have done in the US to create a network of people first and foremost, and then to utilise all the great resources that you've got there. And I'm just looking forward, as Monica mentioned, she's met somebody who's now a lifelong friend through the industry, and being able to engage with people on the other side of the world, and hopefully we can roll this out to the rest of EMEA and anywhere else really. So yeah, it's great to be a part of.
Yes, and I just have to add, I was just sitting on one of our chapter meetings, which would be equivalent to your division meeting coming up. And the feedback from the women was unbelievable. So they're taking what they're learning in the program and they're actually applying it to their position. So where this is important is women not staying stagnant, women stepping up into those next leadership roles and not staying in their comfort zone. So that is real critical to what we're doing, is getting women to get out there and to start moving up and overcoming the barriers, making a plan with their managers, talking about it, communicating, and all of us uniting together. We're finding tremendous support from our male counterparts. And to tell you the truth, we wouldn't be here with all that support because they were initially the ones who helped fund us to get started in the first place. So we are very blessed as an organization. We look forward to uniting the women into a community where women can celebrate other women and work together well, but also to unite with our male counterparts. So that, to us at Women in Electronics, is the sweet spot. It's the zone where all of us as an industry can really rise together. That is the whole purpose, is all of us succeeding together. It's not a win or lose. It's not a me or you. It's us together. That's our acronym, WE, W-E. It's all of us together. And we really believe in that concept. So we would really encourage everyone to join our October 7th division meeting. For those of you on call that are not members, we really need membership in order to launch this program in Europe and make it very successful. So would encourage everyone to join. We have a leadership training coming up on the 24th with Cecilia Gorman, who's one of our key trainers. You will love hearing her trainings. You will benefit from the trainings. Every training we do, we have key takeaways where you can apply something to your professional life. And then our life balance is coming up as well, and that is where we're talking about purpose and being aligned in your zone. And we have, what's that? Did somebody have a question? Maybe not. We also have something we're excited about, is our book club. So we take a professional book of the quarter. This quarter, it was the Secrets of Six-Figure Women by Barbara Stanny. And we take that book and we discuss it. We meet as a group, we roundtable. And again, the purpose is not just to read a book, it's to take the principles from successful people and apply it to your professional life. So we have that next book club, that's part 2. It doesn't matter if you didn't participate in part 1, there's still a lot you can bring to the table for part 2. And again, Monica had reviewed the mentorship program that's launching in October. Anybody who wants to join, mentees need to be members. Mentors do not. So we're encouraging as many people to participate as possible. If you don't get selected for this round, it's very likely you will get the next round. So I would throw your name in the hat as much as you can to participate in this program. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is our leadership conference that I mentioned. Now, the timing for you, as you can tell, is not ideal. It would be 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. your time, which is not ideal. We did not have this in mind when we were scheduling the conference. So this COVID situation, we always had a global program and planning process in place. What happened during COVID is it just fast forwarded our program because we were finding that a lot of people were starting to get isolated. The Women in Electronics program in the Americas was proving to be very successful, people connecting and thriving despite circumstances. So we decided there was so much need and there was so much desire for this program, so why not just go ahead and launch it now? We always set it up with that virtual model in place, although our chapters used to meet in person, but we were ready to take it online and didn't even miss a beat. So basically our conference now is going to be online. So I apologize that the timing is just not ideal for you. I don't want to exclude you because of that. So I'm just throwing it out there. If you'd like to participate, it's there. We will record our conference. So those of you who can't make it, if you want a recorded version, we could still offer that. We're talking through some different ideas. So moving forward next year, it would be more in the ideal time for your purposes. So I apologize this time. It's just that in between time. But the conference is going to be amazing. It's going to be just as impactful virtually as it was in person. We're working really hard to make the content amazing. It's a long day for us here too, even though the timing is better for us. We're allowing a lot of email breaks and stretch breaks and refreshment breaks. So really, it's an engaging program. We hope some of you can benefit from that as well. And that is really our major updates and just a little taste of our organization. So we encourage you to ask questions. I want to open it up. I know we have a couple of our male counterparts on the call too. And so speak away, ask questions. Let us know what you're thinking. So nobody has any questions, so that's okay. Anyway, if anybody wants to chime in, feel free. Other than that, Amy, do you have any final words?
No, I would say reach out if you do have any questions. Contact us and let us know what will work best for you and your region. And we're super excited to get your perspective. This is, like Jackie said, has been a long time coming. Working with Ruth and some of the other people who have been able to really take a leadership position for Europe has been fantastic. And we're looking to see it grow and ensure that we provide content and a vast network for all of you. So let us know. I know obviously everybody has a personal career journey. So it is a personal investment in yourself as you look at this. And as you think about bringing your best self to work every day and along that career journey, this can obviously help support you in that endeavor. So we want to be along there with you. And like Jackie said, if you need anything, reach out. But that's all I have, Jackie.
All right. All right, unless there's any final questions or anything, I don't see anything in the chat. I encourage all of you to have a great day, be a part of the organization. We look forward to someday being able to meet in person, and just have a great day. Thank you.